Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to show you a little bit about flex targeting. So what is flex targeting? Well, it's pretty much just a way to play around with your targeting inside of your Facebook platform in order to really laser down on who you want to target, who specifically, really specifically that you want to target. I'm going to show you interest grouping. I'm going to show you how to exclude some audiences, and just going to show you a few little fancy tricks that you can use to really just utilize the platform to its fullest. So as you can see in my business manager right here, so flex targeting example, I'm just going to edit this ad and we're going to go down to the targeting section. So let's say I was going to do the power efficiency offer. So I'm going to go select men, United States. But the whole point of this is to show you guys about the targeting. So now have a look at this. When I type in things like, let's just go to suggestions. So self-sufficiency, that's not too big. Let's find a big one. So survival skills. So you'll notice that the potential reach is 14 million people. That's a lot. It's pretty hard to even make a dent in that with a normal budget. You're not really going to want to stack any more interests on with survival skills because it's just so big. Like there's survival skills probably and survival kit go together. You know what I mean? It's kind of the same thing, right? So I'm sure that a bunch of the survival kit people are also in survival skills. So this just bumped it up to 15 million, you know? Survivalism, kind of the same thing, right? So I'm sure a lot of people that are into survivalism are also into survival skills. So this just added another million since I added it on here. So obviously for the bigger ones like survival skills, this technique that I'm about to show you is not going to be relevant. So what I'm about to show you is how to stack a bunch of small interests together so that you can really get really good bang for your buck and actually test these small interests that have really low reach and actually be able to scale with them. So for example, preppers. So American Preppers Network. The size on this is only 211,000 people. So when I actually plug it in, I'm doing men 18 to 65 plus. So that's not even really what I want to target for power efficiency because most of the people that convert are over 30. So it's even lower now. We have 120,000 people in this targeting. That's not too many. You'd be hard pressed to scale with that because chances are when you're running traffic, so let's say we're running, $1,000 a day, are all these 120,000 people going to be logged on so that we can actually, serve them ads? Probably not. 120,000 people seems like a lot of people, but for them to all be logged on to Facebook so that you can serve them ads, it's really not that many. So usually, like I said in previous videos, you're going to want to be over 1 million-ish if you're going to want to be able to scale, because then it gives everybody time to log on. And then for the people who aren't logged on that day, maybe they'll log on in 3 days, so you'll get that different audience then. But it's just enough people to keep yourself sustained so that you don't run a budget. So what do you do if you really want to test American Preppers Network? Well, you go find things that are similar to American Preppers Network, and then you stack them in here. So this is what's called interest grouping. So I actually did this grouping for Power Efficiency Guide when I first started running it, and the ROI was absolutely insane. I'm not sure if it's just because preppers respond really well to this offer, or if it's because nobody's was doing this at the time, but it just worked extremely well. So this is just a gem that you guys can use to really make use of these really small potential reaches. So let's get into it a little bit more. So Doomsday Preppers, 93,000 people. So American Preppers Network and Doomsday Preppers, same thing, right? Pretty much the same thing. So bug out bag. Now I know this because I did my market research on this, what a bug out bag is. So I'm just going to show you guys what I would do. Bug out bag. So I go to Wikipedia here because I have no idea what a bug out bag is. So a bug out bag, or a BOB, is a portable kit that normally contains items one would require to survive for 72 hours when evacuating from a disaster. Oh, okay. So a bug out bag is kind of a prepper thing, right? So I just go to Google, find out that this is related to the preppers thing. So I'm just going to add this in because, again, it's got pretty small reach, 518,000, right? So now we're up to 390,000 people, and this is all preppers, right? American preppers, the prepper, bug-o bag, and doomsday preppers. So we're going to keep going. Preparedness. So preparedness in this sense, it's just part of the lingo of preppers stuff. If you do your market research, you'll come across keywords like this that is kind of the lingo that these interest groups will use. And preparedness is often referred to as like prepared for a disaster, prepared for the apocalypse. So, preppers. So preparedness, I'm going to add that in because it's small as well. And now Facebook's bugging out, but it did add more reach there. So we're going to go down and see if we can find some more stuff. So 5.11 tactical. See, this one's pretty big. It does have to do with the interest group, but I think it's pretty unrelated. So we're not going to put that in. Disaster recovery. So that's pretty related to preppers. So I'm just going to throw that in there. So we're at 460,000 people now. So let's see. So there's no more in the natural targets for this. So I could just go do a bunch of market research on these, take it over to Audience Insights, and then find some more that I would want to plug in here. But for now, I think this just illustrates my point. So what you can do is just stack up a bunch with relatively smaller reach until you get, hopefully you can get over 500,000 to 1 million, something like that. And then you can run these audiences. All these people are going to be into the same stuff because it's just different ways of saying I'm a prepper, right? So this is called interest stacking. You can do this for absolutely any offer, but you will need to do some market research for it because at the end of the day, who knew what a bug out bag was if you're not a prepper? I didn't. Facebook did though, because it said in suggestions, people who are usually into this stuff are into bug out bag. So you're going to have to do some research on that, and you'll be able to find these little hidden gems. So plug this strategy in. Now, another thing that you can do is the exclusion of certain demographics. So let's switch now to like a dating offer, for example. So we'll do women, and let's say that we want women into romance. So we'll do romance love. And this is fairly broad reach. Like it's 9.2 million people. That's a lot. So we also want, because if you remember from the previous example, women who do administrative services tend to be into romance the most. So we're going to narrow our audience. So the women who are interested in romance must also be interested in, or work in the administrative services field. Okay. So now we're down to 390,000 people. So that's pretty targeted. You can also play with this a little bit as well. So let's say we just publish this one, and then we're going to look for a similar related interest that has to do with love and dating and stuff. So we're just going to pick dating. So we're combining a natural target with an unnatural target here to get really, really dialed in on who's actually going to purchase this type of an offer. So dating with administrative services, we've got 800,000 people. So what we're going to do now is just a different one. So let's say dating. Actually, let's hop on to analytics really quick, or Audience Insights rather. So we're going to go match our targeting here. So what did we have in? Women 30 to 65 plus. So let's just change this to 18 for the sake of the example. So women 18 to 65 plus who are interested in dating. All right. So let's go to page likes because these ones are often the most powerful. So let's take Sephora. This is a makeup store. I'm sure all the women know this. Maybe some men don't. So say, oh, so women who are into dating and Sephora. As you can see, the reach has been cut down to 9.2 million people. So from 29 million, we went to 9.2 million. This might seem like, okay, well, there's still 9.2 million people out there that are into this. That's not too dialed in. But we've just eliminated all of the women, that 20 million women that are not interested in dating. They've never been on a dating site. They're super not interested in dating, so therefore they don't browse those type of things and they don't get sorted into this category. So chances are, if we're running, even though this is 9.2 million people, this is 9.2 million that are super interested in exactly what we want. We found that the women that are most interested in dating go to Sephora websites a lot, and they're interested in dating. So this is even a laser targeted audience that you could really scale really well because it's huge and also it's laser targeted. So this is what's known as flex targeting. So we're going to keep going a little bit and we're going to see if we can get it even more dialed in. So we're going to go back over to audience insights and we're going to pick a really juicy one that makes a lot of sense. So Screaming Owl. What is Screaming Owl? So Screaming Owl looks like baby's clothes. Okay. So maybe not this one. Derek Jackson. Don't really know what that is either. So apparently he's an author. A Cheating Man's Heart. I still want it. I deserve. So this seems like, women's romance novels. So that one, I would say, is a really juicy one. So let's go back to our Facebook here, and then I forgot how to spell his name. So, oops. So what we've done here, women who are into dating, they must also be into Sephora, and they must also read Derek Jackson. So we're super, super dialed in now. 480,000 women, a super juicy audience, is for sure into dating and into the two things that, people who are into dating, like these are really high up on the list, right? This is relevance number 4. This is the top 4 out of the women in this demographic that are interested in dating. So, and we've just flex targeted to really laser down on exactly who's converting here. So I hope I'm not sounding like too much of a broken record, but this is some of the things that you can use, that we super affiliates use, to get super laser targeted. And 480,000 people isn't too much to scale to crazy ridiculous numbers for months at a time with, but I'll bet you can get some pretty good conversions out of this audience, and just burn it right out, make a ton of money off of it. These audiences that get super dialed like that usually end up 2, 3, 4. That's how we get the 500% ROI. So just hit these until they die, and this is a really great way to make sure that you're targeting and teaching your pixel and seasoning your pixel really well, and making the most money you possibly can.